A very fresh and a very pleasant morning to one and all present there. How are you all? I hope you all are fit, fine, and healthy. You're staying home, you're staying safe. As we have already completed half of our grandpa's tree question answers, we have discussed it in our previous video. So today we'll continue with our grammar point. We have already completed vocabulary, reading 1 and reading 2 of your course book of lesson number 8, Grandpa's Tree. So today we'll study the grammar point, that is prepositions of place and moment. That is on your page number 115 of your course book. Okay. Preposition of place and moment. Okay. Read the sentences from the story carefully. Notice the position and the function of the words in italics. Okay, what are prepositions? As the word suggests, preposition means the words which shows the position of the object. Okay. So now we will study preposition of place and moment. Okay. What is movement? That is when we move. So where it is happening and the place, exactly the point where the person or the thing is placed. Okay, first sentence is he rolled over to the bottom of the tree in his wheelchair. Okay, so he rolled over. So rolled over to the bottom of the tree in his wheelchair, not on his wheelchair, in his wheelchair. Second is the two men walked off toward their truck. Toward their truck. Walked off. The words like in, into, over, towards, across are called prepositions. A preposition is a word that shows relationships among words in a sentence. They can show how words are related with regard to place, time, or direction of movement. Okay, so here the word in, into, over, toward, across, these are prepositions, and preposition is a word that shows a relationship among words in a sentence. They can show how words are related with regard to place, time, and or direction. They show how the words are being used in terms of place, term, or direction of movement. Okay. For example, in the first sentence above, you can see the first sentence here. You can see the first sentence. Okay. He rolled over to the bottom of the tree in his wheelchair. Okay, this is your first sentence. In the first sentence above, the preposition in shows place. Okay, in his wheelchair. Where? In his wheelchair. In the second sentence, the preposition toward shows the direction of the movement. Okay, the two men walked off toward their truck. So toward that truck they walked off. So towards shows the direction and in shows the place. Okay, note of the use of in the first sentence. We say apples grow on trees. The bird is sitting on a branch. But we can say Eric rolled over in his wheelchair to show that Eric was sitting in his wheelchair when he rolled over. Okay, so let us recall the other preposition. So when he was sitting on a wheelchair, he was sitting in his wheelchair when that Eric was sitting in his wheelchair when he rolled over. So this in word is used as a place, preposition of place. The other prepositions of place are behind, between, among, above, and opposite. And here are a few prepositions that show movement, that is across, around, down, up, into, onto, off, out, over, past, through, towards, and under. You can see here. These all are prepositions of movement, and these all are prepositions of place. Okay, so you need to learn these prepositions of place and preposition of movement. Okay, now we have one activity here. Look at the pictures below, that is on your page number 116 of your coursework. Look at the pictures below. Write one sentence to describe each of the pictures. Remember to use prepositions of place or movement. Okay, you can use preposition of place or movement. So let us begin with our first picture. This one. What you can see a man. Okay, you can see he is walking, and you can see a lane. So now frame a sentence using preposition of place or movement. Can you make it on your own? Okay, I'll give you one example. You need to write it on your own. Another one. Okay, the man is walking across the lane. Okay. The man is walking across the lane. He's crossing the road, correct? So you can write man is walking across the lane. So that is the answer to the first one. Okay. Now the second is what you can see in the picture. There is one lady. Okay, she is keeping the canes in the cart. So what you can write, a lady is putting the, you can also use things, you can use stuff, you can use things into the cart. It's a little messy. I'll write it again for you. A lady is putting things into the cart. You can see into, this is the preposition of place. She's putting, the lady is putting things into the carts. This shows preposition of place. Now you can see in the third picture, what you can see. This is your third picture. What do you observe here? That people are walking down the, okay, the people are walking, you can see right there. They are walking or people are walking down the street. Okay, you can use it any, you can frame your own sentence. I'm just giving you one simple answer, that you can use downward. You're concentrated on the word down. Okay, they're walking down the street, or they are walking down the road. You can write it that way. Down is a preposition. For the fourth picture, you can see the fourth picture. You can see a puppy. So we'll begin with a puppy. A puppy is sleeping. Where he is sleeping? Yes, under the TV. So here the word under is again a preposition. Okay, a puppy is sleeping under the television. You can write it on your own, these sentences. Okay, and the question number 2. sorry. Here is a poem about a little dog. It uses prepositions of movement. Read it and trace the dog's movements in the picture using arrows. Okay, here you show your Pug Patrol. You have shown a picture. Now you have to use prepositions of movement. That how the dogs might have moved with the arrows. This is your homework. This is you have to do it on your own. How the dog moves, you have to just how the dog moves from the one point to the other, you have to show the arrow and you have to use prepositions of movement. Okay, this is your homework. Moving ahead to our next point is pronunciation. Okay, in the pronunciation, the first and major task we need to do is stress. Okay, stress means you have to pressurize, you have to give stress to a particular word. Look at these words from the story. They have both noun and verb forms. Play, lift, hold, scream, reach, mother. The pronunciation of these words do not change regardless of whether we use them as nouns or verbs. Okay. However, what are nouns? Nouns are naming words, name of place, animal, thing. Okay. Person, place, animal, thing, and verbs means action words. However, here are a few words that are pronounced differently when they change word class. Okay. So when it is a noun, insult, when we talk about insult, that is an insult. So we put stress on I and in. That is an insult. In we put a stress on I-N word, and insult was normal. We put that is an insult. You can see here. That is an insult. You put stress over I and in. In the second verb, when it is used, when the insult word is being used as a verb, don't insult me. Okay, so you put stress on salt. Don't insult me. Okay, don't insult me. So it is being used as a verb. Where it is used as a word, the last words of the sentences, the last word of the last portion of the word is being stressed, and when it is used as a noun, we stress the starting word, starting letters. Second is increase. That is an increase in production. So what do we say? We put stress on in. Increase. There is an increase in production. And when it is used as a verb, we use increase the speed. Okay, what do we say? Increase the speed. So increase being stressed in your when the increase word is being used as a verb. Moving ahead to a few more words, say object. Okay, if that's an object, how do we read it? See, how do we read it? That's an object. We don't use this object. We use it. That's an object. The ob is used. OBO word is being used. Is being stressed. In the when it is a verb, we object to the proposals. Okay, we object. We put stress on ject, not ob. We object to the proposal. Next is record. Okay, again it is record and it is record. Record and record. So when it is used as a noun, we use record. She set a new record. Now it is used as a verb. We will record this match. Record. So cord is being stressed. That is how we pronounce different words in a different way. Produce, we get fresh produce here. So we put stress on PRO, produce. Let's produce some goods. Produce. So produce is being stressed. Okay, completed. Last, project. We are working on the project. So here project. Okay, we put pressure on pro. We put stress on pro. We are working on the project. Yeah, project the image well. Project the image well. So object is being stressed. So that is how object, record, produce, project, insult, increase, these are words used differently when it is used in as verb or as a now. So you need to practice saying these words with your teacher. So you can practice it at home. As teacher is not with you, you can practice it along with the video I've sent you. Okay, moving ahead to the writing skill. Here we will learn today mini biography. Okay, a mini biography is a story of a person's life written by somebody else. Okay, now biographies are generally written on a particular person's life, but biography is little bigger one. Okay, but your mini biography, it usually has only this much details, only five points you have to uh, keep in mind while writing the mini biography. Who that person is. If you're writing about your grandfather, if you're writing about your grandmother, then you need to keep in mind that who that person is. Second, how old she or he is. Okay, you need to write the age. Third is what he or she does. Okay, what do they do, what interests her or him. Okay, what are her interests, what are his or her interests, what you like the most about this person. First you have to give the details of the person, who that person is, how old he or she is, what interests her or him, what does he or she does. Then you need to write in the fifth point that what do you like the most about this person, why have you selected that particular person as writing mini biography. So here I will read out one mini biography has been written about my grandmother. So let us take an example and then one I'll give you as a homework. Okay. My grandmother. My grandmother and I are very close friends. Who that person is? My grandmother. People say she is old. Okay. Talking about her age, people say that she is old. However, both of us do not believe them. She is over 70 years of age, yet she plays with me like any child my age. When she was a little girl, she played all the games children play. Okay, what interests her? Like climbing trees, flying kites, riding the village buffaloes, using her catapult, and stealing guavas from the orchards. She grew to become a teacher, yet she always made time for mountaineering, trekking, and traveling. She met many interesting people and visited several new places. So she decided to start writing about her experiences. She is a famous writer now, but when I am around, we just play, talk, climb trees, and laugh a lot. So this is one example given. This autobiography has included who that person is, how old he or she is, what she does, what interests her, what he liked the most in her. So here one homework is there for you. This is your homework. You have to write it on your own. A mini biography is a small one. It has only a few details of the person's life. Read the mini biography My Grandmother given on the side. Then write a mini biography of a person you are close to. Remember to include these details in your mini biography. So you can take the example of this grandmother biography and then you need to write a biography of a person who is very much close to you. Okay, it's an easy task. I hope you'll do it. So that is your homework. Moving ahead to the speaking skill, agreeing or disagreeing. Work in pairs. Take turns and begin a conversation based on the topics given. You may choose expressions from the boxes on the next page to begin your conversations. First, detective stories are more interesting than science fiction tales. Okay, so do you agree with this? Is there agreement or disagreement? You have to find out. So here they are this kind of dialogue. Second is watching television is bad for us. Third is it is good to keep pets. We must have an hour of sports every day. So here agreeing means yes, I agree with that. So which are the words do you use when you agree? You always use yeah, no, we have to use yes, I agree with that. Second, what you can use is that's what I think. Third, I entirely agree, I completely agree. And fourth, you can use definitely, absolutely. So these are different words which we can use when we agree on some point. And disagree, we use, no, you should not use only just a syllable no, but you can use I'm not sure, I'm not so sure about the information you are providing me. Yes, but you can use maybe, but don't you think? I'm sorry, but I don't agree. You cannot say directly, no, I disagree with you. You should need to first apologize. I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. I don't think that's right. So these are the words, these are the sentences which you can use when you disagree about something. Okay, now with the help of these words, you need to frame a dialogue. Okay, I'll show you one sample dialogue. This is a sample dialogue given to you in the PDF. It will be sent to you. Now your homework is you need to frame one dialogue like this in your notebook. That is also your homework. So I hope you will do the homework. You complete your notebooks with good handwriting. And write the homework in your notebook with proper understanding.